Hello everyone, Susie here. Been a while since we've done a video like this. So, I don't just want to be a rapping channel. I've been thinking of new video ideas lately. Then it came to me, there are a lot of tropes in fiction. Specifically when it comes to characters. They have the goody two-shoes, the rebellious and punky heroes, and one of my favorite tropes of all time, corrupted justice. And I decided I should make some kind of video on it. While brainstorming, I remembered Finn the Pony's videos about redeemable villains and the jerk protagonist. They are both really good videos. You should really check them out if you haven't already. But it gave me an idea for the series. I'm calling it Who Did It Better? And for the first episode, as you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, and based on some earlier text, is taking a look at the corrupted justice characters. Before we get into things, let me explain how the series works. I take 3 characters that I feel best embodies the trope, and give them 3 things to judge them off of. Whoever wins in the most categories is who I will say did better. Now, who are these characters, you may be asking? We have Goro Akechi from Persona 5, Nagito Kamida from Danganronpa, and Light Yagami from Death Note. I'll be looking at all media involving them to deduce who did it better. Before I get into these categories, these theories we were judged by, I will give each of them a quick rundown so we all know who we're talking about. Real quick, this list will contain spoilers for each of the series involved. So if you plan to check any of these out, I recommend skipping this video and coming back when you do. Starting off our list, we have Goro Akechi. He is the secondary antagonist of Persona 5. When you first meet him, he seems to be a nice guy, who holds justice to a high degree. He seems to be against the Phantom Thieves for messing with people's hearts, and states why. They are all valid complaints. But after Sai's talents, he starts showing his true colors more and more. After he sells you out, he shows himself as a manipulative and cunning asshole with good intentions. But then the more you see him, the more and more deranged he gets. Now Nagito Kamida is also a secondary antagonist, specifically of Danganronpa 2, Good Despair. A lot like Akechi, he starts off seemingly normal, but in the middle of Trial 1, he's revealed to be a hopeless maniac with low self-esteem and incredible luck. He is often the chairman of the trial, so to speak. He's leading the discussion in the right directions and bringing a point that the player or anyone else in the game hadn't brought up, or wouldn't bring up. Despite his creepy nature, he does show empathy for others, but it can be overlooked of how creepy he can be. He often sees despair as a stepping stone for hope. He thinks that's all he is good for. And then finally, Light Yagami. Oh boy, what do I say about this man what hasn't been already? This is one of the most famous villains in all of fiction. This prodigy got a hold of the Death Note and realized he can use it to make a perfect world by killing all the criminals and evil people in the world. This led to him having a god complex, plus the fact that he is one of the smartest characters in fiction I have ever seen. He is cunning, charismatic, and terrifying. I'm sure when you hear the trope corrupted justice, this is who you think of, regardless of if you have seen the show or not. Alright, there we go with the rundowns. If you didn't care about spoilers and check these out and then found these guys interesting, check out their source material. They're all amazing in their own right. And now, with that out of the way, let me explain how I'll be judging these guys. First up are their goals. What are they trying to achieve? This is simple to explain, but how do they win this category? By having the most noble goal, after all. Next are their methods. What are they doing to achieve these goals? How necessary are these actions? And you may be thinking this is like with goals, but nope. The main appeal of corrupted justice characters, at least to me anyway, is how far they're willing to go to achieve these actions. So the most fucked up their actions are, is who will be winning this category. And finally, their motivations. What caused them to go down this route? How did they snap? Like what goes, the most understanding knows wins. And with that out of the way, I just have one big disclaimer to make before starting this off. As you can tell, all these categories are judging them off of morality, which is the best way to discuss these types of characters. That means saying that everything I say is subjective. Morality is a tricky subject. It's not all black and white. Some things we find noble and kind could be seen as selfish and evil to others. So I felt that was important to get out of the way, since I do have a big hot take coming up on this list. And now, with that out of the way, let's find out who did it better. Alright, starting off with the goals. How we'll do this is we'll go over each character one at a time. Starting with Akechi, his goal is to bring justice to society and stop the ones corrupting the system, which is very noble and has a good chance of succeeding. But then now it's Nagito's turn. He wants to spread hope around the world and help people have the courage to move forward. And now finally, Light wants to create a perfect world without anyone evil, have everyone live in peace. Now, looking at these all on paper, just on these descriptions, which are all accurate, you may think Light's goal is the most noble, but here's where my hot take comes in. I think there's more to think about with Light's goal than just what it is. What are the impacts it will have? What is it required to achieve it? And most importantly, how realistic is it? Yeah, bright optimism can be a good thing in many regards. When it comes to something that is meant to achieve good, I think it's important to have a realistic goal. And to put it simply, Light's goal is actually the worst here, because it's impossible to get rid of everyone who's evil. And not even just that. Everyone has their own idea of what's good or bad, regardless of. It depends on person to person, and it's just impossible to keep a world good, keep a world like this, when everyone is gonna disagree on what you're saying. And because Light would think everyone disagrees with them is evil, that would lead to a world where only a few people survive. So, that means it's between Akechi and Nagito. Okay, so let's bring down where the impacts it will have on society. It's by spreading justice and taking out the corrupt people who are actually in charge of justice being so loose. It will have a pretty good impact on society. Crime rate will be down. There's gonna we can put more money into healthcare, stuff like that. Akechi's goal has a very good impact on society. And same with hope. With more hope, more people will take action and rise up against those who want to cause despair and grief. And realistic? While both are hard, it is certainly realistic to spread justice and hope throughout the world. But then, here's where it gets hard to nab. It's easy to say what is required for Akechi to achieve his goal. And his goal has it. He just needs to take out the corrupt politicians. It's hard, but it's certainly doable. Nagito, just like how if everyone has their own good idea of what's good and bad, everyone has their own idea of what causes hope and what causes despair. And that makes it very tricky to say what Nagito needs to do to spread hope. Because no matter what I say, he's not going to be able to spread hope with just that way alone. He needs to do multiple things, and it's hard to say which things need to be done. And so, I think Akechi wins this one. Akechi has the most noble goal out of all of them. Okay, now the methods. This one is going to be a lot longer than the other ones, so let's get straight into this. Starting with Akechi, his action for justice includes working with a corrupt politician to betray him, killing Okumura, who is just a scumbag compared to everyone else in the game, framing the fantasies for Okumura's murder, selling out the fantasies to the cop, attempting to kill Joker, killing thousands of innocent lives, finally sacrificing himself so his fantasies can stop Shido. Hey, some pretty fucked up shit. One good thing here. Let's not just dismiss what the good he does. Sacrificing oneself for the good is always considered a good thing. And stopping Shido is gonna be good. He wants to be in charge of the world just for his own ego. And then Nagito. His action consists of planning the murder of the ultimate imposter, possibly tricking Teruteru into murdering him, which is very implied, not saying anything even when he was being accused, possibly convincing Maru to play the game, which would lead to her death and the Chapter 2 trial, and again, very implied, and then there's attempting to kill the Remnants bear with a self-sacrifice. Good action, very good, especially considering what the Remnants of the bear did. Bombing the gym, did he get the practicing exams cancelled? I can't say why the practicing exam should be cancelled because I've never seen the anime. I got this with the help of a few friends. But no matter what, bombing the gym is pretty drastic. Trying to save the Ultimates by convincing them not to go after Junko, which is very good considering how violent and crazy Junko is. And joining the Remnants of Despair and working for Junko, but he was brainwashed, so we won't hold this too much against him. Again, some pretty messed up shit, but kind of balanced out with a few possible scenarios and two majorly good things he did. Then Light, oh boy, killed thousands of people who heard of being arrested without thinking of the possibility that some of them could have been falsely accused and arrested, killing off the FBI to protect his identity, killing the wife of the guy he killed, toying with Misa's emotions to get her on his side, killing Ellen Rem. Failure of his plan led to Misa torture, which he didn't do much revenge, had someone else take the role of Kira to protect his identity, showed no remorse for any of these actions at all. And now, I think it should be obvious of who is the most fucked up between them. Light. While Nagito and Akechi had actions that made up for all the other fucked up shit in their stories, Light had nothing. Nothing at all. And undoubtedly, all of his actions are way worse than Akechi and Nagito. Nagito only planned on killing 2 innocent people. Akechi never went after people who would be helping his goal. Light just has a god complex and thinks he can do whatever he wants because he has his amazing powers. Point for Light. And now the final category, their motives. What caused these people to set foot on their goal and do so in horrendous ways? Starting with Akechi, his backstory involves him being the illegitimate child of Shido and a sex worker. Because of that, he was seen as a scandal even after his mother committed suicide. This caused him to spark a hatred towards the world, rather than admitting Shido. He knew Shido was his father, but Shido wasn't aware of this fact. Akechi decided to work for Shido in order to expose his deplorable actions to the world, to top his father and gain the worldwide recognition he craves. Pretty understandable why this guy snapped. And Nagito? Well, since he was born, he was always lucky. However, luck either led to good or bad things happen to him all the time. only the bad things caused things he cared about dying. Letting him wanting to do whatever he can to spark hope into people. Ended up turning into an unhealthy obsession regarding hope, distancing himself. Jesus Christ, I feel so bad for this dude. Anyway, in the light, nothing really. Just not because he got a God complex. Okay, without a doubt, I got the worst. Plus the best. It's kind of hard and very close, because both of these things are very understandable with Snap. But I think I would be more likely to snap if I saw everyone I cared about dying rather than being judged based on who my parents were. So I think it's Nagito, but by a very small margin. And we have a tie. What to do? Huh? Tiebreaker? Nah. Nothing I can die to with these characters that has to do with morality. At least that would be fair anyway. And may as well just say who I like the best out of these three. Now who did it better? The answer is Goro Akechi did it better. Now, here is my reasoning on why Goro won. While I love both Light and Nagito as well, it comes down to personalities. I think Akechi is slightly more fun to watch. Specifically with how they play off the rivals, or the main heroes, because it's kind of hard to say Nagito sees Hajime as a rival. While it is fun seeing the Big Bang battle between Light and L and Light, it is all in their head, and we never see the real Light bounce off of L. Nagito and Hajime are great together, even one of my favorite ships, but when it comes down to the actual antagonist part, it boils down to Nagito saying something creepy, and Hajime wonders what the hell is even going on. Akechi and a fantasy bounce off of each other perfectly. Well, I can't say so for Joker since he is a silent protag. When his boss fight kicks in, he is such a treat while interacting with Steve, especially Ryuji. And one of the other things that make him much more enjoyable is the reveal. Light just kinda happens out of nowhere. His insanity just shows up as soon as he realizes what he can do. Nagito, it happens relatively quickly, and there's none of the fucking, I can't speak, and there's really not that many hints that you can really spot out. But Akechi, he has plenty of hints that are subtly hidden. And it happens near the tail end of the game, which makes this reveal perfect for me. But at the end of the day, even with the criteria I gave them, this is all my opinion. I'm sure a lot of you won't agree with me saying that Light's goal is the least noble, and I completely understand. Here's the deal. After you're done watching this video, head on to my community page where you will find a poll where you can vote on your favorite corrupted Justice character. That's the end of the video. I do want this to be a series, and it will be if it does well, but there's a lot of popular tropes to go through, and even I can miss them. So here's something else you can do. Go into the comments and tell me what tropes you would like me to cover, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, make sure to get that notification bell or hit that notification bell to get updated. This has been Scintillating Susie, signing off.